Hello and welcome to my video report about Apollinarius and his Christological teachings. On this report, we're going to talk about the short biography of Apollinarius himself, the difference of Apollinarianism and Arianism, which we will have a brief summary of the doctrine of Arianism itself later on, and how Apollinarianism was condemned by the Church Council. So, who is Apollinarius? His original name was Apollinarius the Younger, and his Latin name was Apollinarius. He was born in about the year 310, and he died in the year 390, which means he lived his life in about 81 years old or so. He was the bishop of Laodicea who developed the heretical position concerning the nature of Christ called Apollinarianism. Apollinarius denied the existence of Christ of a rational human soul, and he sought to avoid undue separation of the nature of Christ. And he thought that Christ had a human body and he had a human soul, but that he had the divine logos instead of a human spirit, and this logos dominated the passive human body and soul. So this early history doctrine took a position to combat Arianism. Arianism is a Christological position that Jesus as the Son of God by God throughout much of the Eastern and Western Roman Empire. It was a heresy that denied the eternality of Jesus Christ as the Logos, and it reasoned that Jesus was begotten, he must have a beginning. Arians held that the divine nature of Christ was similar but not the same. Now we learned the difference between these two doctrines, which Apollinarianism denied the completeness of Christ's rational human soul, but he had a divine logos, and Arianism denied the eternality of Christ as the logos, because the Son, who is mutable, who has been called out into existence out of nothing, must have a beginning. The union of deity and the humanity of Christ in incarnate is probably one of the most difficult concepts to comprehend in theology. So, the Chalcedonian Creed stated that the two natures were united in one mixture, without change, without division, without separation. There is no mixture of human and divine attributes. There is no change in either complex, no dividing them, and no separating them as to have two persons. So the Chalcedonian Creed is a creed which was made during the Council of the Chalcedon in the year 451, and this council was one of the 7 ecumenical councils. It was recognized by the Eastern Orthodox, the Catholics, and by many Protestant churches. So now we know the hypostatic union of deity and humanity of Christ incarnate that condemned Apollinarianism in early history. So Apollinarius was then excommunicated from the church for his views. Apollinarius was readmitted, but in the year 346, he was excommunicated or officially excluded for the second time. The Council of Constantinople, the Second Ecumenical Council, condemned Apollinarianism in the year 381 AD. A study of errors should help us clarify the truth and make us more careful how us Christians express our theology. So thank you, and now we learned the short biography of Apollinarius himself and the difference of Apollinarianism and Arianism, and how Apollinarianism was condemned by the Church Council. So thank you.